Hi everybody, this is Alchemist2 and I'm back again with another series review. I'm trying to be quiet because in the next room my father's asleep and I really don't want to wake him up, and of course it's late and pretty soon I'll be heading to bed and going to sleep. Maybe I'll get a full night's sleep for once. Anyway, this episode of OUAT was called Witch Hunt, and in Storybook, Zelena offers her services as a nursemaid to to Mary Margaret and David, and of course we find out some things out in the Room of Enchantment and in connection with Storybook, and it seems that Henry's starting to get some of his memories back, and it's actually becoming more and more complicated and complex, which I really like about this series. And it's interesting that Zelena has so much power. She's just so manipulative and cruel, and she seems to gloat over the fact that she has this ability. I'm not going to say what it is, but if you know anything about my favorite villain, then you probably hate her even more than you do my favorite villain, and then you actually feel sorry for him. But I'm kind of wondering what will happen with that particular arc of the story, because there are two stories that are occurring at one time, but they all interconnect. And of course, I haven't seen any OUAT IWs yet, so I'm having to catch up with that. And I've also been watching Supernatural. I'm now a fan of Supernatural. I really enjoy it. The episode I just recently watched is called Hell House, and it was about Sam and Dean going off into a home that apparently was haunted, but it was actually a tulpa, so it was really quite fascinating. And I know all about tulpas. I've got a book on uh, weird and unusual and paranormal phenomena, and actually a tulpa is a thought. Actually, it is a creature that is perpetuated by thought. One of these is the Loch Ness Monster. The Loch Ness Monster is a tulpa. The Yetis and Bigfoot, also a tulpa, but it's very it's absolutely unbelievable. Anyway, back to what I was talking about this particular episode. Rapunzel, I really like the fact that they made her black, and they also put another element of surprise that I really enjoyed about this particular episode, about Nightroot, and Robin, of course, brought this to Charming's attention when he rescues her from the tower. And that was the whole purpose of this episode, to introduce Rapunzel. And I was wondering what other significance she's going to have in this series, and how she fits into the whole fairy tale atmosphere. With the whole midwifery thing going on with Zelena, I was kind of curious. I thought, I wonder if they would ever bring in Mary Poppins. I know it would be kind of odd if they did, but I would love to see that. I don't know. Probably there are other people that would want to see that as well, but I doubt that is going to happen. But because she's more modern, she doesn't really fit into the whole fairy tale genre. I mean, she is a fantasy character, and a more modern version would probably be Nanny McPhee. It's based on the same kind of tale. They're similar. They might have been sisters. Who knows? Um, but the tales themselves are different in their own ways, and basically I was thinking that whole idea of when you need me, when you want me but wait, when you need me but no longer want me, then I must stay, but if you want me and no longer need me, then I must go. Yeah, that's actually from the movie, and that was both movies, and that always made me cry. But I was wondering if they could bring those characters in, but like I said, after I saw Zelena being a counselor and midwife, and wondering if they could ever do that. But then again, like I said, modern day, and it wouldn't fit in with the whole idea of fairy tales. And but then again, they've got the Wizard of Oz, which is more of a satire and allegory than anything. And then they're fitting it into the whole fantasy realm, and quite well, mind you. I think that it's just working unbelievably well. And Zelena, she's definitely she's becoming my new favorite villainess. I mean, I love to hate her, and I'm glad they gave her a different name. And like I said with my previous review, they probably couldn't call her Elphaba because of Gregory Maguire's intellectual property, and he would sue. And we know that we live in a very litigious society, so that just wouldn't. Hey, I'm going to litigate you. Guess what? You took my intellectual property. I am going to make sure you pay. But anywho, I really like this episode, and I just, it makes me just want to see more. And like I said, I really haven't seen any of the recent OUAT IWs yet, but I will definitely, because I've been doing a lot of catch up. But amongst other things, I've recently posted my fanfic. My most recent fanfic was a combination of Space Dandy and Rick and Morty, and I was so happy with it. It was just absolutely a blast to write. I just laughed all the way when I was writing it, and it was just so much fun. I am currently writing a story about Sweet Shop. It deals with fairies, basically. I guess it's my own little fairy tale. And I recently finished a sci-fi story about an intergalactic heroine named Kwanzaa, who has the ability to manipulate her own molecules and others, and she's very, very talented and very strong, and she upholds justice and saves the meek and weak, and she's just a good, solid role model. She's tremendous. I love her, and also she's a mom. So she is not only a super powerful character, but also a gentle and loving one. And I recently posted that on fictionpress.com. It's called Quanta, the Intergalactic Heroine. What else am I writing? Must Be Jewish. I'm still working on that. That's my romantic comedy. It's basically my version of Zootopia, which I haven't watched yet, but I will in the future. I've got so much stuff that I'm doing right now. I'm doing Rouge Private Eye, which is going to be my own version of noir. It's actually a tribute to noir. Yarn Kent. I haven't started writing Yarn Kent yet, but I'm going to work on that. Widowmaker. This is actually something I came up with when I was dreaming last night. It's basically a story about, it's a hired murderer who works for different jilted wives who have suspicions of their husband's infidelity, and he goes out and kills these men for them so they can have their revenge. And one of his clients he unexpectedly falls for. And then I will be writing another steampunk. I love steampunk. It's one of my favorite genres of all time, other than gearpunk. And there are very few gearpunk books. But this is going to be a steampunk story, and it's basically in an alternate version of Earth on France, and everything's operated by steam in this universe. And there's a farmer named Claire Matisse who's actually she could trace her lineage to well-known impressionist painter, and she's an inventor. She creates a machine that's as absolutely sensational. It harvests grapes and wine press, and it's more efficient than anything else. She becomes a trillionaire overnight, and because of that, because of her because of her rapid fortune, there are thousands of men who are just vying for her affection, but there's only one who takes her interest, and that's her potato farmer friend next door, who's named Pascal. And of course, these other men do not take kindly to that. So I think I'm going to have a steam joust in it, and that's going to be hilarious. But I always wanted to do something like that, just to see what would happen. I don't think anyone's ever done that before, but that would be the only time that something would happen. It wouldn't be the whole "I demand satisfaction," take their gloves off and smack each other, and then they would take their revolver, and then they would face away from each other and walk away 10 paces, and then turn, bang, and one would probably be left dead, or they'd both be dead. Whenever the smoke cleared, you could see who won this duel. But in this case, it's more about who's stupid, who's so foolhardy to go into a steam joust. I mean, who would be such a moron to risk his own life and livelihood to prove himself to Claire? I mean, poor Claire. I feel for her. But I haven't really started writing that yet, but I will in the near future. But that's basically all I wanted to say, and this episode was absolutely a real triumph, and I look forward to reviewing the next episode fairly soon. So I shall see you then. Ciao, tutti.